Hello, everybody, and I really need to shorten this trailer. I think it's totally out of date now. Hello, Kim. I'm very pleased to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
And who doesn't know Kim Arnold, that's a big mistake. Kim Arnold is the founder of the most successful tarot event in the United Kingdom, as far as I'm aware of. And we're celebrating her 20th, not your 20th birthday, but the 20th birthday.
If only.
Yes. The 20th birthday of this conference. And I'm very happy that you're here with me to talk a bit about it tonight.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you for having me.
So usually it's always first weekend in October, this conference in London.
Yeah, so the 6th and 7th of October this year.
Exactly. I will show you later the website if you want to join, but just in advance, you can't join in person anymore because the conference is totally sold out. And I think it was quite early this year that it was sold out, right?
It really was. It was the quickest one ever. So by almost the end of January, you know, there's always a certain number you have to hit as a organizer, and we'd sailed through that. So we were sold out with a very long waiting list. And I went to the venue again a couple of months ago, and we rejigged the room, so we were able to get another table in the room without compromising space. So so it's good that the waiting list was all cleared, and now we're full, so the books are closed, but the virtual option is still there.
Exactly. So you still can join the conference virtually. Of course, when you're in the UK, this is not really a great option, but especially people here from Germany can join, and whoever is listening from the States or wherever you are, you still have the opportunity to do this. For those people like me who are there in person, I'm very happy about it, that I got my ticket. It's a new venue, right?
Yes. Yeah, so this year we've moved to Bloomsbury, which is more in the heart of London than Kensington. We did outgrow the other venue, so I wanted to go somewhere more spacious. I also wanted to be more, we have something in London, it's called the Bloomsbury Mile, and it's an area of London that's very much connected to Waite, to Crowley, to Pamela Coleman Smith, a lot of very historical places, buildings there, which are connected to that. So Bloomsbury was quite a target for me to find somewhere that A, was affordable, and B, was accessible to everybody and big enough. And the venue is in a really lovely little square. There's pubs, there's shops, there's cafes, there's lots of things going on around there. And interesting enough, I used to live there. I used to live in Russell Square
Really?
when I first moved to London. So that was back when I was nearly 20, a little bit older. So it is an area of London that's very close to my heart. And I think people will love that.
Yeah, I love the area there as well. It's great. Atlantis is not far away, is it?
No, you can. It's a bit of a trek, but you can walk there, or it's just one stop on the tube, or get a bus. Because on the Thursday, for some people that are coming in earlier, they've booked, or I booked for them, a trip to the Masonic Hall, the Masonic Lodge, which is a stunning building in the heart of London. And that's literally a 5-minute walk from Atlantis Bookshop. And then for a lucky few people, we'll be having tea and cake at Atlantis after the Masonic Lodge. And then in the evening, we are at a pub called the Marquis Cornwallis for dinner on Thursday evening for those that have booked that. So we've had the opportunity, because of the venue, to do a lot more activities around that on the Thursday. So that's really
excellent. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I booked the dinner. I need to check with you later.
I'm not sure either. I need to check. So
my plane is late, unfortunately. So
okay.
I need to sort out. But I come back to you this in private.
Yes.
About this in private. My God. And Chris was asking a question here regarding the that so many people are wanting to join. Do you think right now more people are interested in tarot than?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. And when I started 20 years ago, and there's a big story behind why I started the tarot conference, which was very much connected. Well, it's a long one, but it's very much connected to the church. And I used to have New Age shops. I had 2 New Age shops, used to sell crystals and all tarot cards. And an evangelist church, this is sort of 3 years in a nutshell. The evangelist church moved in, took an absolute dislike to me and what I was doing, which was just selling goods and doing workshops. And I had years of intimidation, which was quite vicious and quite nasty, to the point where I was actually afraid to open my shop door. And again, this is a long story cut very short, but my husband actually said to me, he said, well, Kim, you either close the shop or you do something so big that no one can touch you. And I thought, I know, what about a tarot conference? And I searched for one. The only one that was starting that very year was the Reader Studio in New York. So this was right at the beginning of the year. And I literally booked a flight, went to New York, met with Ruth Ann Wald and attended their conference. It was all very new for them as well. And with their blessing, I said to them, I'm going to recreate this in London. Not exactly, of course, it's a very different market, but I'm going to do something similar. So with their blessing, I came back, and in the October we launched. But in the early days, it was very hard because tarot had a terrible name. Tarot was thought of something very dark and seedy and underground, and it was difficult. But there was this bubbling community that really literally had nowhere to go. There were friends that would meet up reading tarot. If you were doing tarot readings, and again, we're going back 20 years, you might not advertise it on a big poster. It would just be word of mouth. So people were almost afraid if you shone your light, then the church would come down on you, or the Christian lot would come in and it would be all horrible. But what's interesting, that over the years, as the conference has grown, not only in stature, but in attendees, and the caliber of the speakers that I am able to have on my stage, that now, we see tarot everywhere. We see it in so many things in the commercial world, on television. I worked for Universal Studios for a time where if they use tarot cards in a film, then I would be called to make sure that tarot deck fit with the period that it was in, and do some research. And then I would get sent scripts where tarot was being used, and they would tell me what I would see the page of the script with what was being discussed, and then I would work out what cards would go with the script. So tarot has become more part of everyday life. It's not a secret anymore.
No, totally. It's very much an influencer tool these days, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here's a tough question for you, Kim. What's your view on the German tarot scene?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, actually, because firstly, that I often write that we are, we connect through tarot, and that I think there's not a place on planet Earth that I could go to where I don't know someone that is connected to the tarot community. And I've seen the German tarot scene grow also. Just a very quick story, and you maybe can correct me on this, but when I had my shop, again, going back 20 odd years, that every year a coach load of people from Germany would come to my shop and buy all the stock. I mean, they would just come and just buy like lunatics, and the reason was, I was told, is that anything to do with tarot in particular was very difficult to buy in Germany, and particularly in certain pockets of Germany where they couldn't buy the cards and the crystals. It was quite underground. So for me, I'd already had an insight into what was happening in Germany 25 years ago, where, I was privileged to be, just through a German connection, actually, that knew I had the shop, used to bring them over and I used to see this little coach pull up outside my shop, and I could feel my heart banging like this. Oh my God. And
the German witches descending.
The German witches descended on my shop. And when they left the shop, I'd look at the shelves and think, right, I've got to go to the wholesale tomorrow. It's like, we're done. So for me, it's lovely not only to see what you have done, Kirsten, with Ro in the tarot community, but also but even for Germans, that it's light now. It's like it's not the hidden secret anymore.
No,
it's open to any, and that really makes my heart sing.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I used to live in London around the time you were having your shop, so I could get all the stuff I wanted at Watkins or wherever Mysteries was still there. But when I went back to Germany around 2000, I was really like, well, nothing is happening here. But funny, so you founded your conference in 2003? And
yeah, but it's 20. It is 20 years, because it was 2000. So it was 4. Because I've worked this out 100 times. I haven't got it wrong. So it was 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17.
No, I'm just thinking because not the Actors Studio, the Readers Studio was founded then, and actually the German Tarot Association was founded in this year as well. So it was an important year for the tarot scene, basically. I need to look this up in the chart, what was happening then.
I think so, because obviously something massive happened that year where three corners of the world, something happened, and, all on the same subject.
And we were not so connected then as we are now. I mean, it was quite hard to get the information from other countries at that time. There is another question before we start about talking about the conference. Sorry, Kim, you have to answer. Do you think the rise in tarot is because of the uncertainties in today's world?
I think absolutely. I think partly, no, it's partly due to that. And I think people are looking for answers because there is so much uncertainty. And I think it's the same with astrology, the same with tarot, anything like this. I think people are looking for answers. But what I think has happened now, that aside from, using or going for a reading or, finding a good tarot reader, that people are becoming interested in not just you're going to meet a man or you're going to change your job or you're going to move house. I think people just want greater depth now. We seem to be looking at things in much greater detail, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a combination of uncertainties, but also of now it's out there. People are interested in the imagery and in self-development. So yeah, very interesting. I missed out on Mark Anton, who says, I didn't know this. There's a rugby advert in the UK on tarot.
Okay. Oh, Mark, I'm going to look out for that. I haven't
That sounds
seen
really
that.
interesting.
Okay. Well, rugby's always on in this house, so I haven't seen that, Mark, but I'm gonna look out for that.
And
Wow.
I can see that Stephen has found us now. He was
Yay.
looking for us on Instagram.
Sorry about that, Stephen.
but great that you have made it, Stephen. And yeah, so let's talk a bit about what people are going to see at the conference, and perhaps especially since we're sold out, you are sold out. I'm already identifying myself with this.
It's a big we. It's a big we.
Big we, exactly. So how people can join and what they will actually be able to see of the conference.
So for those people that are joining us virtually, they can come in obviously on the 2-day ticket, the Friday and the Saturday. They can jump in when they like. So, and also after the event, after we do a little bit of editing, they will all receive the whole playback. So if someone is on a really major different timeline to us, it doesn't matter. They can come and join us, a week later. They can sit back and watch it at their leisure. Obviously, all the handouts for all the different talks, they will receive that as well. And we have stuff for the goodie bags, which we'll be doing competitions for our virtual friends as well to make sure they don't miss out, and hopefully be sending some bits in the post to whoever wins. So that's something that's in the pipeline now.
Even if they're not from the UK?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I will post worldwide.
Okay. No, it's just because since the Brexit, it's really hard for me to get stuff from the UK over. It's easier to have it from the US shipped over than from the UK.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. I think it's all right us sending out, though. I think it's all okay us sending out. So
I was just wondering. It's just because I keep thinking about Mercury retrograde and what's happening, but it will be over by then, so everything will be fine. For anybody who's interested in joining, still, I can show you the webpage. This is a webpage. And I really like this picture of you and the world. It's kind of already foreshadowing next year's event, the 21. But this year we are celebrating 20 years. Is the logo we had already last year, right? I'm not.
I didn't actually have a proper. I was so busy with everything else. I haven't done a specific logo for this year, but there's enough uniqueness about this year to not worry about the logo.
No, it's not. I don't want it to criticize. I just was wondering whether it was new or not, because I couldn't remember.
Well, we had this on the with the judgment.
Yeah, exactly. You have a little judgment. I can show it a bit bigger, so you can hold it up again. Exactly. So these are the flyers, and you can see the new logo there. And of course, you can see all these people who are joining. So who is in this major event for the 20th birthday? Which speakers have you lined up?
So we start off with Wicca Maya Spring coming over from Switzerland. So she's going to do the opening blessing for us. And I'm very excited about that. And Wicca will be followed by Lara Van Zadem. Lara did a talk for us 2 years ago. She was absolutely amazing.
What did she talk about? I don't. Oh no, I wasn't there. I think 2 years ago.
Okay, so she does the astrology with the tarot, but she has such depth to her her workshops are really they're quite mesmerizing, actually. You know, she's very full on with the information. That she's just brilliant. So Laura is doing the first proper opening session, and then on the Friday after lunch we've got Stephen Bright. I know Stephen's there, and he's demonstrating a method of tarot reading to enable us to determine what we're manifesting through our readings. And I know that he's been working incredibly hard on techniques and different things to show us. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we have Belle Snell. She's a Spanish lady. She does, she works with flower essence and tarot, and also the importance of flowers in tarot, which, you know, these are the little things in tarot cards that we often, it's not that we dismiss them, it's like they're there, but we don't put too much thought into them.
That's interesting.
So it's a really interesting way of looking, you know, putting another layer on a card where you're looking at the flowers and then getting some information from that flower on top of that. So, and Friday afternoon, we have the lovely Geraldine Beskin, who has found new information about Pamela Coleman-Smith.
Another one.
Another one. I know. Well, she's been researching a book, and I know that she's been working hard researching a book. And new stuff. The reason why it's taken her so long to write the book is that she keeps discovering new information. And just when she thinks she's finished a chapter, there's like another 50 pages to write about something. So she's going to share her new finds with us. And then we have Ethany Dawn coming over from Canada with The Shadow of Judgment.
Yeah, so I'm curious, of course, about everybody else, but I'm quite curious about Ethany, especially since she's coming over from so far, so it's much harder to get a hold on her in person. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's a really lovely program, I have to say.
Yeah, it's so good. I think with Ethany as well, she's only got a short, because I had actually done the program, and then Ethany told me that she was going to be in Europe and could, you know, she would love to speak. So everything got rejigged, because I thought I can't have her this close to us and then not be able to fit her in the program.
Yeah, totally.
So people were losing 5 minutes here and there to make the extra time. But the good thing about the Friday's more relaxed. You know, it's more, if we run over a little, it doesn't matter on the Friday. On the Saturday, people want to get home, but Friday is a little bit different. And then Friday evening after dinner, I'm going to be doing a talk on my 20-year journey of the UK Tarot Conference.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you know, I started to write it, and I thought, I'm not going to write this. I'm just going to let it flow, because I don't need to read what I know. So that should be interesting. And then our Friday lunchtime workshops, we got this lovely lady called Kirsten. She's coming all the way from Germany.
Yay!
And, so Kirsten's talking at the lunchtime, and Andrea is just doing a very quick 15 minutes on a little bit about his Book of Shadows. So again, I've just tried to fit everybody in and just, you know, just have this full, beautiful program of all these lovely people. So that's Friday. And then Friday evening, we have our raffle, we have our auction, we have a few drinks, and we have, you know, it's a good sociable evening.
I know, it's always really nice to mingle and just chat. You always have also stalls, so people can buy books, and there are publishers usually there who bring their own decks. Yeah. You also have a competition. Like, I never participate because I hate drawing, but people can draw the tarot card 20, and you will decide which one is the best.
Yeah. If they go to the front of the website, tarotconference.co.uk, there's a download. You can download the actual card image, the frame, which Stephen designed for me, bless him. And if you want to do a small spread to go with that, and someone will win a prize worth about £50 in money of tarot decks. So
it's worth it.
But it closes on Sunday, so you need to
this Sunday.
This Sunday, yes.
Okay, so I can perhaps write people still that they can participate. Quite nice. I'm also trying to think. You have the swap table usually.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the swap table this year. I don't know, because sometimes, you know what happens? A load of decks get left behind. People swap them, no one picks them up. And I've already got a house full of tarot. I don't need more swap table tarot decks. My husband will divorce me if I don't get rid of some of these decks. So I'm not sure. So I might just say to people privately, if you've got something you want to swap, you know, but don't put it on the table because I don't want to bring them back with me. Thank you very much. That would be good.
I can understand this. That's quite funny. So Friday is usually, you said it, more relaxed. There are not usually as many people as on Saturday because you can also buy daily tickets, right?
Yeah, but both days are now full, so there's no space either day,
Crazy.
which is
really
unusual.
crazy.
And then moving on to Saturday, Kirsten. Yes. So we launched the Saturday morning with Christopher Hughes. And I don't know if you were there the last time he spoke 2 years ago. He is brilliant. At the last conference he spoke, he was so mesmerizing that when he said, right, let's get into the workshop, his time had run out and nobody cared because it was just so gripping and mesmerizing and emotional and funny. He's just the best speaker. He's got some new decks coming out this year, the Yuletide deck, and I think the Bee Tarot comes out next year. So he's doing a workshop called The Quandary of Judgment, and he is brilliant. He's just such a good speaker. Well, they're all great speakers, but there's something a little bit special about Christopher. And then Kathleen Matthews, she'll be the next morning speaker with Regenerating the Power of Judgment. She has already sent me her PowerPoint, which obviously I do have a look when they come in, and it's very, very, very good. Very good. So I'm really looking forward to having her on the stage. And I forget the emoji tree of life. Yes. And then yeah, Marquis was brilliant, wasn't it? If anyone, sorry, we're all talking about Christopher Hughes, because if you've seen Chris on the stage,
I missed him.
You just want him to talk for the whole day, honestly. If you know, he could have just gone on. Anyway, and then after lunch, we got Richard Abbott. And Richard has also sent me his presentation, which is a wow factor. The End of the World, Are You Ready to Be Judged? It's a brilliant, brilliant presentation.
I can already feel what it's going to be like.
Yeah,
I really love Richard's talks. He's so spot on always.
Oh, yeah, amazing. Yeah. And then we wind up with Neil Kelso. Between magical worlds, magic can always be found where two worlds meet. So Neil always gives, you know, a good, entertaining and thorough workshop. So I thought that would, because obviously when I work the program out, is you have, you know, serious and not so serious. And then, you know, it's just, you just try and balance it out so that there's something for everybody. And then our lunchtime workshops, Karen Curry, she's quite new to the conference. So she's doing the lunchtime slot, but she's working really hard on the astrology. And a guy called Ari Wisner, who is a Hay House author.
I've heard his name, but I can't put something onto him. So okay, what he does.
He did the Transient Light Tarot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, and he seems a lovely guy. So he's coming just to do a little talk about gender in tarot. In fact, he's only got 20 minutes, but it is a lunchtime workshop. So he'll be just explaining a little bit about that and bringing his decks with him. And that will be it for 20 years. That's the end of the program.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It sounds really, really brilliant, and I'm very happy that I can be there. And you out there, you should really try and get a virtual ticket, because I think it's going to be a major celebration.
Absolutely. And talking of celebrations, so we had something a little bit, no one's seen this yet. So we have a little project that Chris Butler and I have been working on, which is a deck of cards to celebrate the 20 years this year. As I spoke to you before and told you that 10 years ago we did a deck, and I asked Chris Butler if he would update the deck for me. And quite rightly, he said, an artist never touches another artist's work. How about I do something for you? So I didn't, I think about that. I thought, oh my God, like that was just so amazing. So the Arcana 20, celebrating 20 years of the conference, is a limited edition deck. There's 100 decks literally on their way now to me, because I had the notification today. And I'm just going to share 2 cards with you.
Okay.
So the Fool is Chris Butler.
Can you put it in a little bit more in the middle? Yeah. Okay, great. This is very sweet.
This is the back of the card. So
oh,
this is Chris Butler.
Excellent.
And I'm going to show you the Lovers, because the Lovers is myself and my husband. Yes. Which is
it is really lovely. And I don't think now that you're united on the Lovers card, your husband will ever divorce you.
No, well, he can't. I'd have to cut the card in the middle and put a spell on him. I don't know, but do something. But, yeah, so they're going to be available at the conference, and it's really exciting. And if I can just quickly mention that the Esoterical issue 9 is out. We will launch issue 9 at the conference, so that's on pre-sale now. And if you look at the cover of issue 9, it's the High Priestess, which is Wickermere Spring of the Arcana 20 deck. So she is, the cover is beautiful. Absolutely.
I've seen it. It looks lovely. Yeah. It's very very sweetly done. I'm very curious to see all of the cards. I'm sure you will have a kind of reveal at the conference.
Yeah, maybe before, but yeah, we'll let people see them before. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'm really curious. Yeah, so I think we covered most of what we need to tell everybody who doesn't know the conference, which is actually a shame. I don't have any more questions from out there. Anybody who watches this video later, please go into the show notes. I have linked the tarot conference there, and I'm sure if you write to Kim, she will tell you how to book the conference 2025.
Yes. There'll be places, yeah.
Exactly. You better get your seat now, you know.
Yes.
It's difficult to get them. And the Esotoracle I didn't mention in the show notes, but I can still put this into the show notes. But please go to Instagram. There is this there's this not a site, how do you call them on Instagram? There's a page.
Yeah, it's a handle. It's at the _esoterical, and the UK Tarot Conference is just at UK Tarot Conference.
XK23 is asking a question. I'm not really sure what she means.
That's nice, thank you. But you know what? I'm going to have to use these, because these are the ones I've got to hand.
So she probably needs a collective card for all those who still want to join or are joining.
Okay, so this is the first time these cards have been shuffled, because this is what they call the test deck. You know, when they send you, you just check that everything is where it needs to go. Oh wow! So I pulled the Tower card.
Wow!
And this is Tarot, if you know Tero, Tarot, our friend. Yeah, so he's our Tower card. So what am I feeling about this? I just feel like this card is very cathartic, that we're in a, you know, we know what's happening in the world. There's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of unsettled energy around the world. And before you joined us, we were talking about the crazy weather and all the rest of it. And I think as a collective card, the Tower is maybe just telling us to release what we no longer need, just to look at what do we need to survive? What do we need to be well? What do we need to be happy? And maybe this Tower card is telling us to let go and to find something that brings more peace into our life without aggravation and disharmony. So, and I think there's nothing to fear from the Tower card. I mean, often when I have this card in a reading or reading for a client, sometimes I'm actually quite relieved to see the Tower card, because you know that it's just going to fall and then you can start again. So for anyone that is experiencing blocks or disharmony at the moment, just it will pass. You will come through this, and then there'll be the opportunity to start again. And just very quickly, if we add the 16 together, we get 7, which is the Chariot, the road of turmoil, and we always come out the other side. So I think a lot of people are experiencing this at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a quality of the time right now.
Yeah.
But it's also about being enlightened. And regarding your conference, I mean, you're going into numerology wise, you're going into a new level with the 20. So it's also kind of breaking the matrix.
Yeah, definitely. And it feels like that this year. It feels very different. And also the uncertainty, when you have a new venue, you've got to trust that people at that end are doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
And, it really has a very different vibe, but it will be fine. And whoever turns up, well, all those 100 people turning up, it will be as smooth as anything. But I might be looking a bit hot and sweaty. That's the only thing.
We're used to this. At the end, you enjoy a glass of wine and everything is fine again.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who has joined tonight. I'll be back next week with Janine Worthington and talk a bit about Tabby. I thought once I started with you, Kim, I can... No. Can also introduce German people to Tabby. And if I don't see you, I mean, I see you at the conference, but if I don't see you after that, we have a date in October or September 2025.
4.
Good Lord. You're right. It's 23.
You jumped a year.
I'm in a mess. Okay. I think I need to go and eat something or anything. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say, Kim?
No, just for asking me to pull a card. That was lovely. Thank you. So much appreciate that. And look forward to seeing you in 4 weeks' time, Kirsten.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that as well. So see you all soon, and thank you, Kim. We talk to each other later.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.